I wondered did now what happened? Okay. Peace to you, brother Joseph. How you doing?
Yes, I'm well. Tried to say peace to y'all earlier, but I think you were having technical difficulties.
Yeah, it I lost the signal. It just went out. Just cut off on its own. But
Peace, brother Joseph.
I think we
You
good.
too, Willie.
Yes, sir.
We gonna use it. So who is that echoing? Is that
I don't know. I heard that earlier.
oh I know what it is. My fault. Hold on. That's me. Oh yeah. I think it's good. Now that was me. I'm like, who is that? That's me.
Brother Eula there.
Brother Eula in his
Peace,
A
everyone.
shirt, aka wife beater. That's what we used to call him. We got the wife beater on. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man?
Fine, I'm fine.
It's hot out here, man. Y'all.
He's showing off the guns. That's what he's doing. He think he's just showing off the guns.
That young healthy.
Hey, you know how it is.
Wait, where you guys at?
They fully
Brother Elba?
loaded.
Teacher?
Huh?
Where you guys at? Where you guys at? You at Brother Elba's?
This brother sitting next to me. Yeah, no, I'm in his stomping grounds with him and these cicadas.
Lady Jokey.
Hey man, we got out the car. I was like, man, what is that? The cicadas was like, what you doing here? The cicadas was super loud. They fly, and when I was driving here, all I heard, I'm like, man, what is that? The cicadas hit my windshield while I'm driving.
Wow.
Oh man, they something serious. Something serious.
Hey, the cicadas. Yeah.
The cicadas are not playing, brother. They not. I know what you're saying now. They not playing.
They hurt your ears sometimes.
I saw a dragonfly. He was like, "Help me."
Are they traveling like like in a certain direction, or
no? They just hanging out in the trees till they die.
They just stupid.
Oh wow.
Next year. No,
they just stupid.
They
just trying to mate and go back in the ground.
Yeah, man. I did see some on the ground, laying on the ground.
Oh, yeah. They ain't not fast enough for me.
That's what I'm talking about. That sound like people. That's all they gonna do. They gonna stay in sin until they die.
And try to mate.
Right.
They gonna try to mate at all costs. Yeah. Now, who is this? The ... Who is this? Y'all know who this is?
I do not.
No.
Is that brother? That's not brother Deontay.
No, we usually have his name.
I know. What's up, brother? Who I didn't speak to? I spoke to everybody else. Brother Mo, did I speak to you, brother? Peace to you.
Peace, bro. How you doing?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Can't complain.
Good.
Your dad yet?
You heard what he said?
Nah.
He said, "Is he a dad yet?"
Probably in the next hopefully 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hey, brother, I gotta ask you something. You and brother Joseph later, okay? Don't let me. Remind me before we get off of here.
Okay, cool.
Both of y'all brothers. I gotta talk to y'all about something real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then who is the ... Show yourself. Who is the ...
All right, last time I had you move somebody out, brother, I got you in trouble.
How I get in trouble?
Because it was brother.
I ain't getting in trouble. I can't get in trouble. Much hard time brother Wayne give me. Yeah, that coming. He had that one coming. No, for real, who was ... So I know, is this let me see. That's the start video.
Man, these women of mine disrespecting you, drinking my orange juice. Then
I thought he was about to say drinking my Kool-Aid. I just knew he was about to say that.
No, my orange juice.
Your orange juice?
My Sunny D, man. Ain't no leave my stuff.
That's not even real orange juice, brother. We don't know. We still don't know what orange. We don't know what. We don't. It's like it's orange drink. We don't even know what Sunny D is.
Y'all don't know what Sunny D is?
No, I grew up drinking Sunny D, but I can't tell you what it is.
Well, I don't care. It's good.
5% fruit juice. What's the rest of the 95%? I don't know if Sunny D is real. I don't know what Sunny D is, brother.
Yeah.
I know you gotta water it down. It's super sweet.
You watered it down?
I always water it down. It's
brother, I should just drink it.
Really?
Oh yeah, I never thought about putting no water in my Sunny D.
Really?
I moved my purple stuff, OJ,
some ice.
Soda out of the way and got that Sunny D.
Got my strawberry.
Hold on, man. Who? No, for real. Hey, the dots. Whoever the dots got to say something. Who is this? Come on, they're gonna start the video later. What's this? Then they got off.
Suspect, fishy.
Man, you got spies on here, man.
Yeah.
They spying. They don't even need to spy.
Really?
Well,
I mean, if they got this code, they shouldn't be any harm. I just want to know who it is. That's all.
Oh yeah, that you got a point.
I ain't tripping. I just want to know who it is. That's all. Hey, and you thinking you got some food of your own in a house full of kids? You are sadly mistaken, brother. They are the low. We got cicadas out here, but they are the real locusts.
All right, I'm getting me a little locked refrigerator.
You gonna get your little refrigerator, put it out in the garage. You sit out there with your chair in the hot, in the heat, and just try to relax. Cause you ain't got no food no more.
I got some vegetables. Now let's see if they gonna touch these.
They might not touch them.
They
They might not touch them. They might let you have that. You know good doggone well if you buy some food, you better eat it in the car.
I like that ancient Bible, Brother Elba has it.
What'd you say, bro?
Brother Elba, ancient Bible. See the one he has it? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I say it look like an ancient Bible, baby.
That's what it looks big.
I'm an old man. I need explanations in here as well.
Whoa, I see colors in there.
Life application Tyndale. And it's large print. That's why it's big.
Yeah, I need
Life
one of them.
application.
I need big words.
Yeah.
You know, so I can hold it like
That's
this.
one.
Vision ain't what it used to be.
My vision ain't been what it since it was I was 16.
Right.
My vision's terrible. My eyesight, brother. All right. I'm waiting on trying to wait on Brother Austin. I don't even know if he's gonna come on here. Who's gonna address this question? I wasn't gonna try to be on here too long. Man, being in this different time zone, we be starting at 9 o'clock for y'all. That's crazy. That's why brother Willie be.
I feel it too.
Oh man,
like, man,
it's 9 o'clock. Yeah.
I caught your brother Albert. I was getting ready to text you the other night. Man, I don't know. You must have had so. I see the Benadryl as a Benadryl or something. I was like, Brother Albert tired, man. Brother Albert fall asleep. Happened to me all the time. To be honest with you, lately, I think it was like a Wednesday and it might have been a Friday, man. I've read one day and next thing you know, I was sitting on the couch. I woke up, I was done. I was like, what happened? I don't even know what happened. I passed straight out. It's been like that lately, man.
Man, yeah. At least, you working and then trying to, hear the word and do that. It could be, it's difficult. It be difficult, especially your job, because it ain't just,
Don't get no sitting time there.
No, that's physically taxing. Absolutely.
You is probably tough too, because I think they got a timer on them delivery drivers now too.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, I don't even know about their situation over there.
What delivery drivers got a timer?
I thought
Amazon.
Why he come on the camera like that?
Man, listen.
My man,
He like they watching me.
Hey, you make me mad. You might not get your package for about 2 weeks. You
they
talking
don't
about
time. No, I mean they don't time y'all running when you run your route.
No.
Oh, okay.
Now, me as a good person that I am, I deliver all my stuff off the truck. That's ain't nobody doing what I'm doing in my what's the name. They don't deliver everything. When they scan it, if they don't scan it, technically it's not on the truck. You see what I'm saying? So they be like, they wave their hand and like when my man's next to me, he be, I ain't taking that. That's heavy. That's heavy. I ain't taking that either. I said, man, these people package, man, you ain't gonna take them. This package been sitting there for weeks. These people got their stuff, man. I'm like, brother, you gotta take these are people packages. I said, when my bike come, I got a bike coming. I said, they gotta touch my bike, man. Man, they terrible with the packages, man. No respect for people packages.
Don't get him in trouble now. Don't get him in trouble, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, chill out with that.
That
brother. Man,
it might be
man, about to get somebody released from their job.
There's a lot of people at home right now. That's why I ain't got my stuff.
Man,
forget that. Hey, it is what it is.
nah, but on the real though, that's how we gotta be when we own this job. And if we gonna have a job, we gotta be upright. So like you see examples of that in the Bible. I'm gonna just read a couple real quick. Genesis 39 and verse 1. It says, and Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. His master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put in his hands. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake, and the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. So, you know, the man was blessed because of Joseph being there, but Joseph was upright in the work that had to be done. And one other place, that's really how you're supposed to operate. You know, you can man them days off that you're supposed to give them feast days, but you do want to have a good reputation amongst the people. This one is in Daniel, and let's pick it up in Daniel chapter 6 and verse 1. Daniel 6 and 1. It says, it pleased Darius to set over the kingdom in 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom. Because you need people to rule. The bigger you are, like we talked about that last night, we was talking about the Roman Empire got so big. Here this brother is. The Roman Empire got so big that Diocletian basically split it in two for administrative purposes. So he had all these princes, and he said, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then it says, then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole kingdom, over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom. Now they were upset. They were just, here go another brother with no shirt on. What's these brothers? All right. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find no occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. So basically, they had to scheme to get something said about him, you know, because he was upright in all that he did. So he was working in wisdom. Yeah. So you right to, you know, do what you're doing, bro. Yeah, so you right to do it. What's up? Oh, my fault. He do got a shirt on, man. I thought I saw my fault. I thought you was going.
Nah, I'm chilling. Got a little.
You working out today though?
No, I went to jujitsu today. I joined a dojo,
Where?
when I was
Hey, where
there.
at? I might have
It's
to go
in
with you. Where?
it's in Crown Point. It's called Hoosiers for Self-Defense or something like that.
Hoosiers for self-defense.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah,
Hoosiers for
something.
self-defense. I don't even
Let
sound.
me see. Let
Hey
me
man,
see.
I went to.
You about to
Yeah,
be
now is this a real one? This a real one?
Yeah, it's
No,
it ain't
brother.
no
Is
it
it
ain't
real?
no it ain't no Mick dojos.
Is
No
is
Mick.
it is it this here?
Yeah. It's
Is it this here?
what you mean? I don't know what that means.
Dragonfly Jones, is it this here? Or is it real?
I think it's real. I don't know.
Oh no, see man.
What you about to do?
Hey,
Some
I was
candy
watching
fights?
a Joe Rogan podcast, and
Mhm.
he was talking about to a guest, and they were saying about how Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has been watered down throughout the United States.
Yeah.
In this class, there were people coming there with high-ranking belts and getting beat by white belts up in there.
Yeah, that's what they were telling me at the dojo. They were saying that if I went to go to a real good one, there was one, I forgot the name of it, but there was one out here that like it take a long time to get to like if you're a white belt, it take a long time to get a blue belt. That's for sure.
Now, so wait, the one you went to told you that?
That's tight.
That was one of the students that was there told me that, not the
Oh yeah,
not
see, I
the
won't go
not
there.
the
I went to a
professor.
class. It was was it Taekwondo? It was me. I had a brother. He was in it, and he was like, man, come to the class. Check us out, man. I went. I sat there. I'm looking. I'm like, I can whoop everybody in here, including the two teachers. They get sitting there with black belts. And then when he was like, yeah, really what you want to do is run. I said, man, let me go to the range. Let me get up out of here. I was like, man, I will whoop everybody up in here. And I ain't no tough guy, but I'm looking around like where the fight is at? They was doing this here. I was like, man, I will knock you out.
It's pretty cool. They just right now they have us like for the beginners, they got us learning how to
roll. You roll
how to roll. We gotta get and learn how to guard, full guard, half guard.
You got you sprawling and rolling.
Yeah, I was getting choked out, but I was still.
You got choked out, but that's always good.
It was fun.
He got choked out standing in a judo match.
Oh, in a match?
Yeah, we traveled halfway across Ohio
to get choked out.
Standing up. They went out there, the guy grabbed his gi and put his arm like that.
Oh, yeah.
My mother was pissed. She's like, what happened? He said, I got choked out.
I've seen that before. Yeah, you can't get choked out with they'll tighten you up real quick. Yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he taught us today. He taught us like a technique where you put your thumb under the gi, like under the collar of the gi, and then you put your other hand under the collar of the gi, and then you basically make a baseball grip, and then you have to lock your elbows in together, and then when you turn, that's gonna like force your opponent's neck to be like on your forearm, and that will be choking them. And then if they roll, you got to roll with them, and then you go to their side, and then you gotta like basically choke them again. But it's pretty fun though. I didn't think it was gonna be that fun.
Hey man, that's fighting, man. That's all that is.
Hey, let me ask you a question. What if they got a collarless shirt on?
If they got a collarless shirt on, you just gotta put them in a little kimura. You put them in.
Okay, so it's only won't work if you got the gi on.
Yeah, it's only gonna work if you got.
It's only gonna work if you got the gi, because if you got like a just a French cut dress shirt on, it's not gonna work.
You got a shirt like me.
He doing jujitsu. Oh, jujitsu. Hey, if you gonna do something though, jujitsu is what you do. Because if you know how to box, because you box, and then when it go to the ground, if you know enough jujitsu, because that's where it's gonna end up. If it go any amount of time. Standing up, you box, and then you go to the ground with jujitsu. That's the best thing to work. But you go out there with some karate if you want to. Where Brother Wayman at? He'll tell you a story about him having to go some karate and thought it was gonna work.
It was crazy, man.
He thought it was gonna work.
Yeah, what happened? He got.
Ask that brother. Hey, he Afro 3.
Brother
hey,
Wayman,
Brother Wayman.
What's going on?
He don't want to come on now. Hold on, bro. There he is. Hey, tell us about that karate story.
I'll tell you about what?
Hey, you told me that you tried to do karate one time and it didn't work out. It didn't work out too well.
Yeah. I tried to do karate.
Oh, now he don't remember. You told me.
No, I wasn't listening. So I heard you mention my name, so I came to the phone.
Okay,
what did you say?
You said that you was in a fight and you was have been taking karate and you thought it was gonna work in the street. You told me you thought it was gonna work in the street.
I did, yeah. I was probably about 11 years old, 12 years old. Let's see. I was probably in the 4th grade.
Oh, I thought you were older than that.
No, I wasn't that old.
Oh, okay.
No. And actually, the kid, the person that grabbed me was like a teenager. So he was strong. He grabbed me in my collar, and
by your gi.
I thought I was going to do the karate move, and I was outnumbered. It's probably about 5 of them to just about 1.
He adds stuff to this story. Go ahead.
No, we just talked about trying some karate move, and I tried it, and I was a wimp. I mean, I remember you telling me your son was in a fight, and whoever he was fighting with was throwing him around like a rag doll.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm just saying.
Wait, what's that got to do with your story? I'm trying
to make a point here. I'm trying to make a point. The point is, when I tried the karate move, I couldn't move him at all. He was so strong. It was a wrist move. He grabbed his wrist and turn and cross over his arm and then bend his wrist. And I tried to move. I couldn't move at all because he was strong. He just had me right there. I tried to move and couldn't do nothing. So, karate didn't work. that was whatever that move was. I wasn't strong enough. It didn't work.
Dragonfly jump. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give you a quick story. I'm gonna tell you about my silver medal in the Junior Olympics. I went out to take my first match, and I tried to do the hip throw. Ogoshi, is that the one? The dude fell on me and choked me out. But I got the silver medal because there was only 2 dudes in my weight class, me and him.
Now this is judo?
Yeah, but I was the only dude from my dojo to get a medal.
Oh, wow.
Even though I lost.
Wow.
But I'm a silver medalist, Jim.
Hey, all that stuff ain't gonna work down in Ben Harbor. I'm telling you.
That's what I said. Let me go to the range.
That's what Brother Khalil just put on the.
Yeah, don't come to Ben Harbor with your kung fu stuff. Cause I'm telling you right now, might as well get funeral arrangements.
I wouldn't dare go to Ben Harbor with no.
I said this is me.
You can sit up there and tell my
You think I'm gonna fight when I spend 600 on a Glock?
Exactly.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, that's over with. Right. But no, I think you do need to know. You need to know how to use a firearm. You need to also know how to protect yourself with some kind of martial art. You do need to know that. And I'm not saying like you get off into the spirituality of it, but you need to know how to protect yourself, protect your family. So that's something. And people are like, y'all Christian? Have you read this book? Have you read this book? What did David say? He said the Lord had taught his hands how to war. So you need to know something, especially in a wicked world like this.
Yeah, my kids taking karate class.
Here we go.
Hey, mama got them into it. It seemed to work. My daughter gave me one of them little punches, nearly knocked the wind out of me.
Really?
Man, my oldest girl, she's pretty strong. I told her, don't hit me no more.
That's funny. You gonna get mad for real. No more Sunny D for you.
That young girl can hit.
Nah, but going back to what he was saying about my son, what I was saying was, not that he was getting thrown around, it was a girl in there. And her father was like, she compete all around the country. And she would come, she was in jiu-jitsu, and my son was taking wrestling at the time. And she would come to wrestling to tighten up with her jiu-jitsu, and she wrestled all the boys, and she was giving them that work because she was a technician. She was laughing at her because this was years ago, so they was about the same strength.
They didn't get puberty yet.
Yeah, she wasn't throwing them around, but she was just being as far as technically, she competed in jiu-jitsu all around the country. Her father taught jiu-jitsu. So that's what I was saying. Not that he gonna bring my son. Yeah, I heard your son getting thrown around.
No, you know what I did? I
was also knocking people out.
No, I brought your son in because I had a similar experience.
No, but that wasn't similar to yours.
No, that's a different.
It wasn't similar to yours.
No, there was one that I had. No, there was an experience that I had during the time I was taking the same class when we had to wrestle against somebody. And my friend that I came with, we were wrestling against each other. He was about a year older than me, but he was throwing me around like a rag doll. I couldn't stand up. So when you told me your story about your son, it reminded me about what happened to me doing the same kind of experience.
Yeah, still didn't match. No, it wasn't the same thing. But let me say this though. That's why, but see, even with all that technique, like let's say the girl continue to go. Let's say they get to about 16 or even adults. You can have all that technique. It won't mean anything when it comes to what you're talking about with strength.
Right.
Like,
right. That's what I'm saying.
It won't mean nothing.
I faced two people that was far stronger than me at the time. So whatever karate stuff I was trying, it wouldn't work and couldn't work because I couldn't move them.
Right. That's my uncle. He taught me.
So
I'm not saying y'all take this into the streets. Don't do this. He was like, boy, if you ever get into a fight, take anything and hit him with a brick. I'm like, what? He was like, it work every time. I'm like, no, man. Like, I'm trying to. Usually, you can use your brain. Well, sometimes I don't know if you're not in Ben Harbor, you can use your brain to get out of certain circumstances. You know.
Yeah,
just gotta talk your way out of things.
I was rolling with some people I was one of the bigger people that was there just because of my height.
Mm-hmm.
But I was rolling around with people that was smaller than me, and they knew like what they was doing.
Yeah,
but they
was tightening you up, wasn't it?
They couldn't do it effectively just because of how
they don't know what they do.
They don't know what they do.
Look, if you talking about jiu-jitsu, them Gracie boy, I done seen them beat up monsters and other higher ranking
I seen
martial arts. So that's what I'm saying. They probably just learned. Okay. They've been there 6 months longer than you.
I see what it is.
Yeah, I done seen them. Yeah, technique. Yeah, if you gotta sometimes skill, if you got superior skill, but if you got a little bit more skill and somebody just got more weight. That's why boxers got weight classes.
Right.
You could be 147 pound and fight a heavyweight that know what he doing. If you want to, he'll lean on you, then you'll be leaning.
That's why that fight last week, with Logan and Floyd was such a sham, because it was a battle of not just this kid was bigger and stronger. He didn't know what he was doing.
Brother, did you see him knock him out and hold him up?
Yeah, that boy
you might hit him with a hook, and then that boy was like this. He was like, boy, get up, we gotta sell this thing.
Exactly. You can't go down like this.
Boy, you got 3 more rounds. Boy.
We gotta get paid.
Floyd's the smartest man out there, man. When it comes down to this,
can't knock the hustle, man.
Can't knock the hustle.
Yeah.
He ain't fighting for no ego trip no more. That's over. He letting all the young boys who think they got something come bring that money back and he'll get the people what they want.
Yeah.
Come out of retirement 7-8 times to do it.
It's funny because people still paying to see him lose, and he not.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. But anyway.
And I think that's where the hustle is. I think that's exactly what the hustle is.
Yeah, he became a heel, like in wrestling.
And I think
I'll be the bad guy.
And all them young boys, the Conor McGregor's, everybody, hey, look, even if you can't beat me, you can't beat me. Everybody gonna bet against me. So this is the deal. Everybody gonna bet against me. and we're gonna split this. 70-30, but you're gonna be a whole lot better than what you did when you came in.
You're gonna make more than you ever made in the UFC.
Exactly.
And that's funny. Somebody like Andre Ward had a nickname, "Son of God," with superior skill, ain't lost since he was 12 years old, Olympic gold medalist. And nobody really talks about him as bad as he was, because he didn't, he carried himself much differently. He killed himself in an upright way, as far as, the world goes. I mean, he's pretty upright, I liked him as a fighter. As Son of God, I like the nickname too.
Yeah.
That's a heavy name to carry.
Son of God, yeah. That's something, you saying something.
Yeah, this I know one thing, man. Not to change the subject, man. These pranks that they doing, man, they better cut that stuff out. Somebody gonna get killed.
What is this brother talking about? What you talking about?
Like them TikTok pranks and stuff like that, right?
No, not the. On YouTube they be doing stuff like, what I remember back here one day, you come up and touching people's wives, and one guy, he tried to pull his pants up, but it was a joke. He had a gun. He better thank the Lord that he didn't get killed. You know what I'm saying? Just these jokes going around, these pranks on people. I mean,
they doing that where you located.
Yeah, right. You think they're gonna be doing some pranks like that? Man, it'd be a mass murders up in the middle. You can't be playing, especially touching. Don't even touch my wife. Don't be come up.
Hey, it's a saying. It's a saying. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Right.
I seen the guy, he was messing with somebody on the street. This was in like London or something. I think it was London. It might not have been in London. It was in Great Britain. So these they were black, but they had, English accents. And he was doing this, prank or whatever, call himself Young Boy. And he was like, hold on one second. And he went, and I said, is this real? Because he got a bottle and hit him over the head with it. He like, ha, ha, laugh. Now the dude laid out in the street. Yeah, you can't just mess with people, man. Everybody not, especially now, everybody's anxiety ridden, especially during COVID, But
on the wrong day.
Catch them on the wrong day, or you messing with somebody's, just a side note, anybody that's listening, if you don't know any better as a man, you shouldn't just be walking up to a woman talking crazy. Straight up. I had an incident that happened. I wasn't there, but that could turn into something ugly. You talking to somebody's wife or woman or Isha, whatever you want to call her. It ain't she under somebody covering, and you talking crazy to them. People. Malcolm said, "We'll kill you over our women." Somebody will hurt you over their woman. You better, watch that. So if they doing pranks, touching people, because that's really assault. You touching somebody. Why are you putting your hands on people?
Right.
Gotta have wisdom out here. But hey, brothers, I ain't gonna keep y'all long. I was just gonna go over a couple stories in the news, then touch upon the question that this brother had last week. Peace to you, brother Anthony. How you doing? What'd you say?
Brother, and let me say something about what you just said. You're talking about going up to some woman talking to her. There's a little seasoning to that. You better make sure it's a woman as well.
Right now.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. That's
okay. Okay.
He said you better make sure it's a woman. Oh wow.
You right.
Oh wow.
You right.
Hey, yeah, brother. It's a weird time we living in, brother. He said you better make sure it's a woman. Wow. Question: who just got a new statue in your stomping grounds in New Jersey? I know you know. I know you know.
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
A new statue.
A brand new statue, a 700-pound statue. A larger than life statue. Who just got a new statue in Newark, New Jersey?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you.
The Biden?
And why is it in New Jersey?
I don't know.
Can't tell you.
Was it Biden?
Biden? No, it wasn't President Joe Biden.
You're gonna fill me in. Fill me in. I haven't heard anything yet.
George Floyd.
George Floyd in New Jersey?
Sitting on a park bench.
Sitting on a park bench with a white beat on.
Wow.
Hey, hold on.
You gotta share your screen. I gotta see this. Put it up.
Yeah, hold on. Let me find it, brother. Yeah, he's got a new statue, brother. It's huge.
Give you a statue.
What's that?
Kill you and then give you a statue. Man, that's wild. Like, that's gonna do something.
They put the beater on them though, huh? That's crazy.
They couldn't even put a shirt on.
No shirt.
He's sitting there on a bench.
Suit, business casual.
Everybody's just as happy.
Oh.
Now look how big this statue is, bro.
That is a big statue.
Because look at the sisters that look, they, you know.
That statue racist.
It's a 700-pound bronze statue unveiled in Newark City at Newark City Hall.
Sometimes I think people just like throw these Negroes a cookie so they be happy.
Wait, what'd you say? All I heard is Negroes and cookies. What'd you say?
I said sometimes I think they just be like, all right, it's time to throw the Negroes a cookie just to keep
okay, I got you. Yeah, this is crazy.
Empty
now, how many people in Newark need money just to eat? And they spend money on
this was donated by an artist. It was a donation.
They vandalized that statue. How much you want to bet? Vandalized that statue.
I mean, they vandalized Emmett Till's memorial at the Tallahatchie River. They shoot the sign every time they replace it.
They gonna use that statue.
Yeah. I mean, y'all got any thoughts on this? It's kind of hard to believe, really.
That's an insult.
Why do you think it's an insult, brother?
Come on, man. That's what they do. It's like they choke, they kill us. They kill us. Then they say, okay, we're gonna make them happy. We're gonna paint a sign, or we're gonna put a name a street after them. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's like they it's like a little hush money. You know, just take this and be quiet. You know, this is one less nigga. You know, I mean, it's just an insult to me. I mean, not. If it was me, it'd be an insult. I told him, you can keep your statue. Go make some pennies or something. Melt it down and make some pennies or something, you know.
He said, go make some pennies with it.
Right. I would prefer if our martyrs, if you were going to make this man a martyr, that he would be, like I spoke about before, above reproach. Because Emmett Till was a small child that was obviously killed for no reason. And the way King and those gentlemen were killed. Gentlemen, even though he was slaughtered in front of us, he still, to memorialize a person that's this controversial, to elevate him to the status of hero because he was killed. Because that is what we've done. We made a permanent monument to him. Because I had this discussion with some of my co-workers. Everybody you made a permanent monument killed and slaughtered other people. Now, I'm not putting him in that category, but I do believe there are other men who have been killed that are less controversial, because at the same time, we're embracing a guy who has a very questionable background, doesn't justify his death. There are many others who should have been memorialized that they won't give us. Now, when I say they won't give us is, this guy was built and donated, and we accepted him. But I would say, let's put a better role model for our children that looked up to, that lived a quality life and was slaughtered. Let's build a monument to him, because every time this guy comes up, his enemy can pick him apart. Or our enemies can pick him apart. That's why I use him as an example. But you can't do that with somebody who lived a has a reputation that's above reproach. All right, if I said that correct.
Brother, my children can't sit on that bench.
Okay.
I agree with you.
I'm offended by it. They will give us anything, like the brother said.
I agree with you 100%, brother. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, my children can't sit on that bench. I can't sit next to that big huge statue. Like he was saying, like it's yeah. It's too many people that you could actually, memorialize with a statue. That's not. It's a tragedy, but like at the same time, when you look at, like he said,
he's not a hero.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He was not.
He was killed.
Yeah, but you can't make him into what they trying to make him into. You got him. I was tripping on. I was like, man, you put him in a gold casket, and then they like, I'm like, man, was King Malcolm buried in a gold casket? But any other thoughts on this before we move on?
I have a quick statement about it. It's a reminder of hatred. It's like every time someone sees it, sit next to it, whatever you're going to do, you look at this thing, it's always going to bring back the what took place. It's like we're never going to let the situations, not that they should be forgotten and act like it never happened, but my Jesus could die, anybody could die. And at the end of the day, we got to keep living life. But to keep throwing this, every time we look at George Floyd, this or hear the name, you see this black and white race war. So I'm sick of hearing all about it. I know it's part of our life. We have to live that, but it's just creating a bad taste for everybody. Black people like us who see it and are disgusted by it. You got white people who see it, disgusted by it. It's just creating a divide. Just let it be.
Yeah,
move on.
I think they could have did a better job with like what he had on.
You mentioned that was your focus, like the clothes, like he.
Yeah, I mean, it make him look like it did. To me, it kind of looked disparaging a little bit because it make him look like he poured something. When I know they had a better picture of him with like a suit or a shirt or something that just don't make him, just look like he was. Like he was. I don't
understand the artwork. Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
Okay, you don't understand the art work here, like
no,
why it looks like this.
I understand because that's what he had on when he was killed, but like I felt like I don't know, maybe they could have just done a better job with what he had on for sure. Put him on a collar, a blazer or something. I don't know, something that just look a little better than what he got on.
I think we're in Twilight Zone.
Yeah, no doubt.
This is, some of the stuff that's happened in the last year or so. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I know they were saying that his history. They were saying that the man when the situation had went down, that he had fentanyl in his system or he was on some type of drug or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but they said that he was doing some things that he shouldn't have been doing at the time. That if he wasn't doing it, perhaps he could have been in a different circumstance. But that's not me trying to justify what the police officer did. But it's a very controversial statue for sure.
I just wonder what's the inspiration. I mean, how is it supposed to inspire, people that walk by? I think it's just going to nobody's going to know who that is.
You don't think so?
After, I don't know. No, after some weeks or months or, whatever, nobody's going to recognize that statue. But just say 10 years from now, who's going to remember George Floyd. And what, they walk by the statue, it's just going to be just like any other statue that was put in the park.
I feel like people will make it more into a tourist attraction as opposed to like an actual memorial. Like people just go and take. Yeah.
It's a statue. You walking by, oh, let's take a picture. Or I don't know, kids hanging off of it, birds pooping on it.
I think people are
really,
going to.
I don't see it inspiring anybody.
Put Marcus Garvey back in there.
I was thinking Marcus
Garvey, or even the brother that was the abolitionist. Frederick Douglass. Somebody that actually had a mission for the people.
I think what's different.
Reminder of telling people back in their places.
This is not. Yeah, it's not appropriate.
Yeah, I think what's different here is like he won't. Unfortunately, he won't be. He won't be. He's not the type of brother that's going to be remembered for his character, but he's going to be remembered for what happened to him, and then the things previously that the things that transpired because of what happened to him. Yeah. Like I mean, I'm not that old. I'm almost 30, but I have never once seen humanity united under one umbrella as I did after he died. Like they were protesting heavy in France, heavy in Great Britain, Venezuela, all these other countries were like, all right, nah, we done had enough. Like America, y'all are bugging. And and I think I talked to my great aunt, and she said in her life she had never seen it, nor did she expect that to happen. And I can't remember a time in history where I've seen in the last like 100, 200 years where somebody of color has had an effect like that on the world.
But they picked him. Why is it Khalif Browder?
Yeah, that was conjured. Like
is it Khalif Browder?
That's what I'm saying.
That committed suicide.
But they killed him. He should have been the one they built a memorial to.
But no, he's not going to be known for his character because I mean that's not the point of the agenda. The agenda is just to find the best martyr for whatever their goal is, and that's what I'm saying. That's why he won't be forgotten.
Whatever their goal is.
Yes, correct.
Okay, yeah, because he ain't. Yeah, I think.
It's an okie doke. It's an okie doke, bro.
Yeah.
Because it was all conjured, like how it was framed, how it was put forth. I'm not saying this is not me taking up any police or anything, what anybody's done, but what I'm saying is, like he said, why him? It wasn't like this was organic.
Yeah.
It wasn't organic. It was conjured. It was put forth at a time with another conveniently used by another movement, and it was used as also politically.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's definitely some underhanded deceit to it.
People, you gotta. The problem today, I will say, the problem today. Oh, go ahead, brother. I thought that was an echo. My fault. Go ahead, brother.
That's why they won't remember him. They're just going to remember the whole Black Lives Matter. This is not. They just use George Floyd, like you said, political. Just to push forward their agenda. He is not going to be remembered. His name is not going to be remembered. What's going to be remembered is BLM. This is how that thing blew up all around the world.
This was an attack on the Republican Party. I believe it has a lot to do with getting Trump out of office.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this was. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, you see, one of the things is the nature of the trauma, right? That we've never seen before. We've seen things on TV, guys kill guys, but to see a real-time killing, that was what they actually used to push the agenda, right? If back in the days with Emmett Till and someone had stream or had the same media, like no, it would have been a sensation around the world as well, right? But seeing that it was propagated through social media and hit every house, every phone, right? It was like a 9/11 effect, and they knew and they got on it and they pushed their agenda. Right. So I actually did forget his name until I look at the picture. You guys are right.
Do you remember Rodney King's beating?
Yes.
That was more brutal. Unfortunately, he didn't die, thank God. But that was one of the most brutal, heinous things I've seen, and it lasted a long time.
Man, I remember watching that video. I can't tell you how long it lasted, but it surely impacted my psyche. I'm looking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It was some
To
brothers.
say it wouldn't happen before.
It's a lot of heinous. I've seen brothers get killed on the street. Man, I've seen cops pull over brother, beat 3 brothers. It was about 25 cops in Philly that beat up like 3 brothers with baton. I mean, they just, man. And the helicopter was watching. They thought it was a police helicopter. It's actually a news helicopter. That's how they got the footage. Man, some of the stuff that's going on. But yeah, I think this was largely political. But yeah, yes, it's an odd time we're living in. And I think we are not critically I know we're not critically thinking as a people.
Well,
somebody else got something? Go ahead. I'm not sure.
I just wanted to say, with that Ronnie King, I watched that. It ain't the fact. I mean, we know it's bad. The whole world watched it. They went to court and then just straight, not guilty. Yeah, we know we watched it, but we gonna send them home anyway. But Lord said this is gonna happen, but it's just the fact how they looking like we don't care what the world saw. That's the fact, man. And I've just found that out a few years ago. I thought they went to prison. I didn't I didn't know. My wife like, no, they got off.
That's why they had the riots.
They got them with the federal charges.
Say again.
I think they got
one of them did.
A couple of them.
I have to verify that.
Yeah, I'm not.
I might be thinking.
I think all of them got off. I believe that last time I checked, man, it's been a while.
Crazy.
Just a slap in the face, man.
Yeah, this is
So that's the only reason why I was talking about. I can't embrace this brother.
When did they build that statue?
Hold on 1 second. Go ahead and finish your thought.
No, I was just saying that's one of the reasons I can't embrace this brother. Like seems like everybody else is holding on to him. Just because he does to permanently memorialize this guy as a hero or martyr. I'd rather see a brother that stand up and look noble, because we never get that image. I would like to see, because even with the King Memorial, he looks tired and gazing down. When all the rest of the images in DC are guys standing up holding swords with their hands on their chest. And I'm looking for that image. I'm looking for that image of our people as well. But we're not going to get it here.
Wait, say it again.
Well, I was just talking about how they depict Dr. King. Mm-hmm. They said at the DC Memorial, he's kind of got his head down, looking tired. Where all the rest of them are standing out, looking proud with their shoulders and their chest out. And I remember talking to a guy I worked with. He said when he was in school, he didn't think nothing about black people being different until the conditioning started. He said when they told him that black people were slaves, he said, "Oh, well, we better than y'all. Your mom and dad were slaves." So that's why I talk about the conditioning.
Well, let me now, brother Austin, say your question, because I think just answer on the screen. Say it again.
When did they built that statue? When did they put that statue there?
Okay, so I don't know exactly when it was donated this week to the city of Newark.
Okay.
But I can't say it was a donation by an artist, so I can't say exactly. It's Stanley Watts.
Okay.
Did it, but I can't say exactly when he did it, but it was donated this week and unveiled this week.
Okay. I just it's just interesting to see when
this is from today, this article.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting to see when when they put that statue there, being that, you know, they just made Juneteenth a federal holiday.
That was my next, that's the next.
Yeah.
That's the next thing I want to talk about. Juneteenth being a federal holiday.
You guys ought to explain that to me. What is Juneteenth?
So I think they call it a national.
Hold on, brother. You say we gotta explain it because you from Canada. Oh, you're not from Canada,
no, man,
but you
I'm an island man.
I know you're not from Canada. I know. I apologize.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, okay, they need to explain it to the Negroes here because they don't know what it is. What it is? Okay, hold on. Let me pull up this article. And somebody, I don't know if that was Brother Khalil that was speaking. I cut somebody off. I don't know who that was.
That was me. They
Go ahead, bro.
so when they were sending out emails, they call it a National Independence Day.
Yeah, Juneteenth originally was not national anything. Let me I was looking at it. I had to pull this article up again if I can find it. Just let's see, man. Let me see if I can find this one I was looking at. Okay, let me share my screen again. See one more time. Hold on. Okay, so this is it says, "What is Juneteenth?" by Henry Louis Gates. The first Juneteenth. Quote, this is General Order Number 3, Headquarters District of Texas, Galveston. Now that's key. June 19th, 1865. Quote, the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. Okay, so it's slavery 2.0 after this one. That's basically what that equated to. It said the freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness either there or elsewhere. So that was an order given by General Granger on June 19th. So that's what became Juneteenth when they found out they were free in that particular area. But I've said this on here before, you know, it wasn't like they found out, like slaves found out that they were free in every place at the same time. It's not like they just got a tweet, you know, and say, hey, we free. Like where my grandparents are from, we used to go down there every year because they found out that they were free on May 28th. You go in other places, they got different dates. So this was a regional thing that became something that now they're saying it's a national or federal holiday, but this wasn't a national thing. Everybody didn't find out that they were free on June 19th. But it was an order given, and you see what it said, the people of Texas are informed. It didn't say the Negroes all throughout the United States. So it's like you're making something that was a regional thing into something that's now you want to make it federal, and it's more of like, I think you said it, kind of like you just, what is it? What'd you say?
Empty gesture.
It's an empty gesture. Like I said, we were talking about this earlier. Give me some money. Right. Give me some money or some land, some reparation. I don't want to hear about Juneteenth. Right. I don't want to see another statue. You can keep, we were talking about that earlier, keep that African American Museum. You can keep all that. You can keep all that. Give what a paper at. Right. Because you paid everybody else reparations. And it's not just for slavery. It's 264 years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow. We had denial of access to education, access to employment, access to housing, redlining, finance. You couldn't get loans. All these things were going on.
In my lifetime.
Right. So it's not just slavery.
Right. My mother was refused housing when my parents first got married. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't a lifetime ago. And you wasn't even free on paper till like 1968.
Bro, we just got a semblance of freedom.
Right.
1968.
Right. So that's on paper. But remember, Donald Trump said he wouldn't rent to somebody. Is that gonna get me in trouble saying that dude's name?
What you mean?
YouTube or somebody.
Brother, we ain't in trouble by now.
Okay. With Donald Trump, remember in this debate with Hillary Clinton, when she said,
I love Eva.
when she asked about he wouldn't rent the black folks, his response was, everybody did it, which made it systematic. Because it doesn't have to be written down. You just do it like they used to do in baseball with blackballing certain players. It don't have to be written. Or that one Muslim brother that played basketball. Are they blackballed? Mahmoud, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Muhammad Abdul Raif.
That in the 80s, didn't he? Trump pulled that in the early 80s, right?
Hey. With his housing,
yeah,
I want to say that was 80s.
So wait a minute. So it was really only what, 40 years ago? If that much. And I know there's case after case.
No, that was rampant, and it was thanks. So you had that what people were just doing.
Right.
Then you had just state sponsored, just like state sponsored segregation.
Hey Elijah.
Who is echoing, by the way?
I don't know.
It sounds like both of you are echoing.
Is it?
Oh,
I don't think it's you, bro.
Is it Brother Wayman?
I thought it was.
He is always the culprit. He is always a suspect, I should say, when it comes to echoing.
No, go ahead. You know it's me.
But anyway,
I don't know who it is. I was joking. I don't know who it is. It might very well be me.
Hey, this is what they say. They say they'll give you Black Lives Matter. They'll give you a statue. They'll give you a museum. They'll give us everything. But we ain't getting you no money. We ain't getting you no land, nothing like that. We'll fill you up. We'll fill y'all up in a prison house and in the prisons. That's what we'll do. You know, but they'll let us have that. But it's crazy. They'll do everything. Name somebody to you. And the Black Lives Matter garbage, that ain't about us either. I mean,
that Black Lives Matter is definitely not about us. It's about, well, it is about Black people, the destruction of Black people, because it's destroying the Black family, it's destroying the Black male. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me read something here. In Isaiah, the 42nd chapter, because you said something, Isaiah 42 and verse 22. Isaiah 42 and verse 22. It reads, there's one verse that said, but talking about Israel, this people, it said, but this is the people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for prey and none delivered, for spoil and none saith restore. That's the thing then, and that's the thing today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
right.
I know anything.
We could go to Alabama. They have Negro land there. And actually, it's a pretty good piece of property too, because it's right there by the Gulf. So you got access to the waters, all those things, man.
Israel Hill too.
Y'all heard of that place before? Negro land.
Negro land.
In Alabama. I guess on an older map, you would probably see something like that. But I looked it up.
I've seen Negro land, but on an old map. But hold on, not what you're talking about.
I'm just saying. I guess it would still be on like an old map where it would actually say Negro land. I guess. But I looked it up. It's a place in Alabama called Negro land.
Is that where the slave ship sank?
Yeah. Yeah. Something about some slaves.
He did say something.
They arrived after they had already been set free or something like that. Slavery was abolished.
What do you all think like the hidden agenda, the hidden agenda is behind them, like weaponizing stuff like Black History and Black Lives Matter? Why do you think they're doing that?
Wait, hold on, brother. So this is what I was talking about. You saying this is what I was talking about here. Negro land, how they refer. This is in Africa. They would call it Negro land, but you said it's Negro land in Alabama. Alabama. And where's that? I just passed it. Okay, right here. The Negro land grant. Okay, yeah, I gotta research this. 1861 to 1890. The Negro Land Grant College, huh? Okay, my fault, brother. I gotta look at that some more. My fault. That's me. Go ahead, brother. Austin. Go ahead. What'd you say?
What do you all think the agenda behind them, like weaponizing Black Lives Matter and Black history is? Why do you think it's such a push for them to utilize these?
Well, you could use a movement for your own benefit. So if you like, okay, like we were talking about earlier, people are not there. We were talking about this. People are not. They're just getting involved in things they don't understand what they're getting involved in. Mm-hmm. Black Lives Matter. You right. Let me pick up a sign. You think, well, they did that back in the day? No, they didn't do that back in the day. They actually thought about what they were doing. It was a concerted effort. It was.
They had a real agenda.
They had an agenda. Thank you.
Right. A specific
mission. Now, and they knew what it was, and they used strategies and things as far as how to get it done. They have strategy and they have a platform, but the Negroes that are involved in it they don't even know what it is. Because when you look at the platform, and they have taken the platform down several times off their website, because when people start looking at the platform, like, wait a minute, y'all pushing homosexuality, transgenderism, the destruction of the nuclear family, and socialism.
Mm-hmm.
So their agenda is to push forth policy. Well, not even policy, but in part, it's definitely Marxist.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely Marxist, and you can use it. It was used as a political tool to combat, again, the Trump administration. That's how they used it. They used it to combat the Trump administration. When you see what was, and then these Democratic leaders in these cities let these cities burn.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Black Lives Matter did all the burning, but in addition to that, they let these cities burn because they said, basically, as a thing, look at the chaos because of this man in office. It was all about getting this man out of office, in part. So,
yeah, because Chicago just asked for help from the federal government today.
Did they?
With their violence, yes. Yeah.
They got
Did you all see the woman? There was a recent protest in Minneapolis, and a woman, she was with Black Lives Matter, and it was a Caucasian man. He was, I don't know what he was doing, but he hit her and killed her. And I know it took a real long time for the police to get there. I know
this was today?
That wasn't today. That was sometime this week. It may have been yesterday or the day before.
He hit her how? What did he hit her like
with a vehicle?
Car? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, they said that he had, according to the video that I saw, they said that he intentionally hit the woman, and he ran into a crowd of protesters and hit her, and then she died. Like, there was a whole bunch of, the video was kind of gory. It's a whole bunch of blood in the street where she had got hit. But,
and this was a protest. I'm sorry, but can you repeat where it was?
It was in Minneapolis.
Where they tried to defund the police?
Yeah, the police didn't show up. It took a long time for them to come. Yeah.
That was, that's like kind of like in Atlanta, one of the think he was a alderman, or he was in there. Man, he's running. He might be running for mayor, and he was trying to defund the police. He might be a councilman. He was trying to defund the police, and then some kids came and stole his Mercedes while he was standing there, like little kids. How you gonna defund the police? So man, or all this like they're decriminalizing. I was showing I sent my dad this, man. Matter of fact, let me show you this video real quick. Just the madness that's going on, man. This is in San Francisco, where they've decriminalized shoplifting.
What?
Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me find this video real quick. All right. This is in San Francisco, and basically they've decriminalized shoplifting. Like if it's under $1,000, like they not arresting you. So people just come into Walgreens with suitcases and bags. And they just walk out or run out on his bike, and they don't arrest him.
That's crazy. Why are they not like playing this on the I never seen this on the news before. This is my first time.
But notice this is security. He like, hey, stop. At least he tried, right?
He really rode out there on this bike with all this stuff.
Brother, I seen people going there with.
And look once again. That dude get killed, they're gonna build a monument to him. All right, I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
Yeah. But go ahead, say it again. He says they get killed, they're gonna go ahead and build a monument to him. I seen them come in. I was watching one. They came in with a suitcase. They was just taking stuff off the shelves, filling the suitcase, zip it up, and cussing people out on their way out. And the one guy, he was a customer. He was like, man, he just came in here and stole that stuff with a suitcase. And the worker was like, man, they do that every day.
Why are they allowing them to do that?
Brother, that breaks down the system. That breaks down the system. When you defund the police, when you decriminalize, and they said it was because of poverty. I'm like, wait a minute, man. So all these terrible policies that you passed in these liberal cities lead up to that.
And they're begging for people to go back to work around here. They're begging for people.
The state running out of money. That's what that is.
It's messed up, brother.
Hey, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say all this killing going on. They just gonna give you 1 day. They're gonna turn into the purge, might as well.
The tinfoil hat on.
Tinfoil hat. Look, think about it though. You got all this murder going on, right? They say, hey man, y'all doing this 365 days out the year. How about it's a free fall for 24 hours? People will take this madness. These movies aren't put out just to entertain.
They got purge in Chicago every week, brother.
Every week another rapper dying, his whole family, all crazy stuff, man. They need to stop. Rap needs to stop. They need to just hip hop need to die.
Back to the PE days where it was uplifting. But to what I seen and what I'm starting to witness is that they're making it okay for you to embrace your lower, worst emotional self. They say you can steal this stuff, so he lowers himself to that standard and just takes it, not realizing he's degrading himself. And one of the things I was talking about in these movements, how much of it is like a fad, and how much of people are getting caught up emotionally. Because I've been this way for probably 35 years, but all of a sudden, I know a lot of people who were afraid to even talk about these issues are now out there waving flags and stuff. So it seems like it's a popular thing right now with a lot of the BLM people cheering and chatting and getting involved. But when it really comes to pay a price, will they pay that price? And with his brother, like I was talking about, this protest and stuff is playing on your emotions. When they tell you can steal that stuff, that's your basic, some of your worst emotions that you're acting on. And they're making it easy for us to continue to play yourself out. He played himself on TV. He showed the whole world that he is a common thief in front of everyone. All right, sorry.
Well, it's clear as day. You take away the law, and people will be animals.
They animals with the law, definitely.
They animals
the
with the
consequences
law.
of the law, like you're saying. Like they decriminalizing prostitution in was Baltimore and low-level crime. They're like, we're not coming. So like you know, in some of these tourist places in Baltimore, there's a lot of white-owned business owners. They saying we're putting our taxes in escrow. We're not paying any more taxes until the city responds to what's going on. They say, man, after 10 o'clock, it's madness, fighting in the street, all kind of stuff going on. They say, hey, man, they're not enforcing the parking violations. They're not enforcing a lot of things that are going on down there.
We better than that, or are we not?
Well,
if I believe we better than that, and I'm gonna make my kid, if I ever see him, hit him in his head so that he knows he's better than that. But we better than that.
But that guy, when you look at it, it's not right morally, I guess, but he's playing by the rules. You know, I mean, that's like
he is playing. He's playing by man. Well, okay.
Yeah.
He's playing by the rule in the sense of he's not going to get arrested because they're not enforcing. They're not enforcing the penalty.
He's still breaking the law.
He's definitely still breaking the law.
And that's the thing. They've made it so lawless. I mean, in a way, we're like, all right, so you're not breaking the law of the land if you get married to another man as a man, right? So they keep making God's laws literally available to be broken and no criminalization or no punishment for it by man. You understand? They are just complete. It seems like they're doing away with it. Like even like the purge, that'd be a murder thing, right? So murder would be legal. Homosexuality is legal. Robbery is legal. I look at rap videos. To me, if you ask me, that's nothing but lusting of the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Covered in what other people have and what you want. Like if you looking at Cardi B, she's somebody's wife.
She's married?
Yeah, she's married. Offset.
What's his name?
Offset. This Meek. Yeah. So when you really looking at all,
you put a ring on that?
Yeah, she married.
No, somebody did.
So you looking at all this lawlessness, and it's legal to us to be lawless, but in turn, you ain't paying attention to the laws of God. You think you like brother. Man,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This thing is. People think they following the rules, and the rules are leading you straight to hell.
Brother,
and it's sick.
Brother Joseph just put in the chat, in the last days, lawlessness shall abound. Yeah, the lawlessness, as far as regard to lawlessness of God, that certainly is abounding. I mean, when you think about it, I harp on this all the time. I say, man, how you kill 60 million babies?
Right.
Mm-hmm. How you kill 60 million babies, and Black people have killed 20 million. How you do that? Man, that's a lot of bloodshed, man. That's so you got, like you said, homosexual marriage, transgenderism running amok. People literally murdering people. We got abortion going on. It's a lot, you know, just it's a moral nihilism going on. It's just like whatever you want to do as thou will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just thought that was crazy. Lastly, before we get off here, this brother had a question last week in the last 30 seconds of the feed that we did, or the show, the forum we did last week. Brother Austin, you want to ask your question again? You remember the question?
Oh yeah. I was asking you all like how were the dynamics between relationships between men and women when you all were coming up, because it's quite different for me. I haven't seen like the world that you all have lived in. Like I've always seen women act like this, well, for the most part. So I remember talking with your dad, and he was telling me that that it wasn't like this when he was my age, or when he was working and stuff. So that was my question. That makes sense.
I think it might be maybe beneficial if some of the older brethren could talk about that first. So I ain't putting you on the spot, Brother Wayman, but you might be the the most elder brother on here as far as the age goes, if I'm not mistaken. Did you understand what he was asking?
I do understand what he's asking.
Cool.
For one thing, there wasn't quite as much communication going on. So because there is so much ill things that you can see rapidly, you can see those things. So you didn't see a lot of bad stuff all the time. Most people was conducting themselves in a way that was responsible. So you didn't have a lot of people acting out. There was probably what you see now. There may have been like 10% of the population acting that way, if that. But now it seems like you can find 10% of the people that's acting responsibly. But the things that people were doing, women was in the house, they were cooking, the men was going to work, the women were taking care of the kids, the man come home and he get a report about who's been misbehaving, so he lays down the law. And so it was a different environment. Everybody wasn't trying to go to college and do something like that because there wasn't that many colleges and it didn't offer that much. It did to the extent that people can afford to go and had the money, but that wasn't something that we were getting into as a people. We were too busy trying to eat and feed each other. So a lot of what is happening seems like we've gotten more into money. We've gotten more into trying to be like the people that we were around. When they ended segregation, that helped tear down the exclusiveness away from these people and their behavior. Now we're mixing with these other people and acting like they're acting. But before we were separated, we was in our own little community. Granted that we wasn't behaving according to what we should be doing, but again, it was a very few, it was like 10%, 15% of us that was really misbehaving to the extent that you see today. You just didn't see that. You didn't see homosexuality like this. You saw somebody, they were gay, everybody kind of stared at them, I was growing up, you didn't see that. People weren't flamboyant going out there, and you see now they're pushing the agenda. So the things that they've been pushing to be acceptable was not acceptable in their day. Women wasn't behaving the way they're behaving now because they had a mother at home that was an example for them, showing them how to take care of their man. So a lot of what's happening today has taken away from, has fulfilled that, that things have gotten in such bad shape. Think of that iniquity shall wax cold, I think it says. So we have so much iniquity, prophecy just being fulfilled in your time, in this time, which is just saying to us that the time of the end is near. We have some wisdom because we're reading the word. Most people are not reading the word. We're looking at things from a different perspective. Brother Elijah pointed out that they got a statue for George Floyd. that has no significance with what we are looking at and how we feel. And we understand they're just trying to control the narrative, but that really doesn't feed into what's coming. And that's what you ought to be preparing yourself for.
Mm-hmm.
And you, I understand, also you're trying and looking at, furthering your life and starting a family. But the thing is, focus on getting yourself where you need to be. And you will probably meet somebody in that same circle. But if you're in the circle of all this confusion that's out here, you're just going to see that and meet those kind of people. But if you go ahead and focus on what you need to be focusing on, you'll meet somebody in that same path. So it's your circle that a lot of times you're around. And of course, your circle is based on the word. And so if you're going around, doing what you need to do, fulfilling what it is you need to do in your life, becoming independent, seeing your house set up, laying some kind of foundation, setting some rules up. So when you find a woman to invite her into this world, hopefully she's already on that path that will allow her to come into that. But it's just prophecy being fulfilled. We're just living through it, and you living through it in your time since you've been here in your generation. In my generation, it wasn't at this point in prophecy.
Did you find things a lot more peaceful back then, as opposed to now?
Yeah, things were. Because look, a lot of people didn't have cars, or people running down the street. A lot of people didn't have guns. They weren't shooting and stuff at each other like that. A lot of people didn't have all this social media hype and gripe and fighting and stuff going on. We had like 4 channels or something. You watch TV, or you out and play, or which was a better life. There might be a fight here and there or something, but nothing dramatic, nothing to the extent. Right around the end of the 60s, everybody started kind of using guns. But before, you had to fight. Even Elijah talking about his mother, put him out of the house, said, boy, get on back out there and fight. This boy was like, what, 4 or 5 years older than you?
Yeah, I was in the 2nd grade. He was in the 6th, kind of like that fight you had.
Yeah. So you have what you have, Austin. There's an understanding, and I would, how are you going to start a family, raise a family in this evil and wicked world? Look what they're going to be fighting against them. It's going to be very difficult. There is so many things coming at you, coming at us from all sorts of angles. Now, Elijah brought up about George Floyd. This statue, this is just a bunch of nonsense. And if this man has some money and something to give away, give some money, feed some people. Just make some statue for some folks and set it up in some town some state that he's not even from. George Floyd not even that I'm aware of. But you're just trying to, he probably, who knows what the narrative is in terms of what he's trying to do. Because first of all, people probably start asking, who is the artist? Who is the artist like we're doing? And then we'll find out who it is and then praise him and raise him up. It might be, some money that he invested so that he can get some more notoriety and maybe some more artwork done. So just like a lot of these lawyers run around fighting all these cases of people getting, police brutality, police killing, they're running all over the country, taking on cases, making money off of death and destruction.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Brother Elb, you want to talk on that briefly? Or?
Yeah, just briefly. One of the biggest thing I remember was growing up, most of the mothers were at home. And even when I went to high school, some of the girls still had modesty. And, and the difference between then and now is this, I guess, whatever the equal rights movement was, the fighting to be, I would say pretty much raunchy or do what men do.
Yeah.
But that's what I seen happen. There was still some wholesome left. We still had wholesome. People were still good. We hadn't strayed as far. And over time, you see this gradual wearing away of morality. And our women were still decent women. I mean, we had the loose ones and things that were done that were immoral, we kept quiet. There was no march in the street, slut walks and all that people embraced. So that's what I noticed was the gradual wearing away of morality. People accepted this decline because I just can't, the stuff that I see go on now is unbelievable, but it happened slowly over a period of time because nobody held fast to the word. And we slid further and further away from the word, brother. That's why I was just talking to the brother. I said, how can you meet a woman nowadays? Because I'm like, can you get what we don't see anymore? You know, it's hard to find. Well, the numbers are rare. The numbers are smaller, just like with men, masculine men. But I was gonna say, men didn't change much. I didn't see men change much over that period of time. Women wanted their roles to be different, which we forced a lot of the ends of the relationships. Because when my mother stayed home versus when she went to work, versus my whole neighborhood staying home, because I watched that take place, I'm saying in the late 70s or in mid 70s, everybody's mom started working outside the house. And I became a latchkey kid, which never existed before. You know, or maybe it did. I just watched the change happen. When nobody was at home, you get away with it. So that's what I see. The change in society with women going out in the workforce actually did have a big difference. And my mother said the price of houses doubled overnight because there was a period of time when women couldn't be counted on the mortgage, if I'm saying it correctly. But anyway, I'm sorry. Just brief.
No, thank you. I appreciate you explaining that to me. When I was in high school, it was crazy. Even when I went to Merrillville and then I went to Theo Bowman. We had uniforms, and even then they was still finding a way to dress crazy. But then when I got to Merrillville, it wasn't no uniform, so it was just it was crazy. It was off the wall.
Hold on before you start talking about that. Brother Anthony, you got something, or Brother Willie, or somebody else got something on this? But maybe you can pick their brain a little bit if they got something to add to you.
Yeah. Brother Anthony, you want to go ahead?
I mean, I probably wouldn't say much more than them. No, I mean, I can't think of anything right now different from what the brothers already said. I agree.
Okay, thank you, Brother Willie. You got something?
Yeah, I got a little something. There's the echo. Okay. I'm not too much older than you, young man, Mr. Austin. Yeah, so growing up 90s, graduating, high school 2000. So only had about 20 years to myself. But the girls and the relationships, just a notch turned down, maybe one notch. I would say pre-internet, like the beginning of it was more so like they would do the phone thing, like, relationships with boys and girls would be like hotlines and all this other stuff before. Like this internet thing really changed the game.
Bro.
Yeah, 100%. Big
time. Me and my co-worker was walking around, working today, and we were just talking, just driving, and we was like, the way girls dress today, they're influenced by this new wave of quick fame. You know what I mean? Sort of like OnlyFans / TikTok, this whole mentality of how can I get famous off my looks rapidly? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of just got everybody on this. Every moment could be a star moment. You know what I'm saying? So everybody looking for that moment to stop and make a video. You know what I'm saying? And post it. We didn't have this wild stuff growing up, and we were just saying, nowadays it was harder getting into ladies' pants. Keeping it PG. You actually had to work a little bit. Today, it don't seem like it. It really just seems like they have gotten so much easier. It's sad because, you don't have any children. I have 2 daughters. And just to think this is the generation, my daughter's, she just turned 13, she's coming up in this. So you got to constantly stay on top of her. Like, listen, don't follow the crowd because they just devaluing themselves. Like, you want you a good man, you got to stay at a level of worthiness, So I'm just being right behind you. The internet was, right as I was coming up. We still had to work. You still had to try to kick some game and take them out and do certain things. Nowadays, this is all prior to the word. Nowadays, if thank God I'm in the word, because it's not a nice game for fast men out there. It's too easy. Get yourself a lot of trouble. All praise to the Most High brought me out of that wickedness, man, because it could have been a lot worse. So yeah, just keep your mind right, bro. You already set the standard. You setting the standard anyway for yourself. Like, continue on your focusing and getting your house set up and have a house to put you a nice wife. But I understand you got to find one in this condition, man. It's almost like you're gonna end up like Paul, bro. I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah, that's
but
when you said like Paul the Apostle,
Paul the Apostle, like, and I don't mean it like
yes, not him.
That's not the first time I heard that.
But it's
that's not the first time.
And we only saying that because we might just be getting closer to that time where it was almost time to pick up and run, and it could be a possibility that we creeping up on it and starting, not trying to, what's the word, discourage you, but starting now, like I feel bad. I don't feel as optimistic for my children in that sense of marriage as much as I want to, because of you're always constantly looking for the prophecy to happen, to get up and go. Like, how do you build to stay still if you're waiting to get up and run?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, brother, just keep your eyes open, and it's probably best to just let something come your way. Keep your eyes open. Don't be chasing. You might end up putting a shackle on your leg at the wrong time.
Yeah, nah, I ain't trying to do none of that.
Just real quick, I've seen like just growing up, I've seen like my grandparents be married 66 years, and that dynamic. You see people that their friends that were married that long. Then you see things starting to change from their, from the previous generations. I grew up watching certain shows like Brady Bunch. You see a family. You saw families on television shows, the nuclear family. But around that time, that I was like, what I saw as far as kids my age, you saw a lot of single motherhood. The dynamic was similar though, as far as you actually had I don't even think you actually really date today. Back then they would date somewhat, like he said, you had to have a little game. My father be talking to me about that a lot. He said, man, how these guys, he said, man, back in the day, you would have to do this, you have to do that. You don't have to do anything today, but you won't get anything today. Also, some things that changed the game. Birth control changed the game. The pill changed the game. When women took autonomy over their own, whether or not they were gonna have a child, like in the form of a birth control pill, that definitely changed the game. And the various forms of birth control, I think there's about 30 forms right now. That changed the game. What that brother said about the internet totally changed the game. I remember being in college and Black Planet came out. And I was, that's social media, because what it did was, number one, if let's say a woman was somewhat attractive or was considered to be attractive, whatever, before that, she would get the attention of the men in her vicinity. Now it's literally worldwide. And you got a lot of guys that are selfish enough to validate this woman who was only looking for attention, even give her money in certain instances, just because he thinks she looks good. Also, stigma for whoredom, quite frankly, has been taken off of the table.
Yeah.
So what kept the relationship intact between men and women in the past was they had a balance. They had a balance, and there was a stigma. Men and women operating off of balance. You basically did what a man needed you to do because you actually needed something from that man. When the state comes in and becomes the man, when stigma is removed, when women can go into the workplace and say, and basically get access to the resources that men were at one time put at home, they have no incentive to actually be your woman. These women do not belong to you. They are not yours. You can be with them and they're not yours.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry, because there's a saying right now, like, she belonged to the streets.
To the streets.
No, but she belonged to government. To the government. she belonged to the government.
But so what happens now is so basically what was going on in the past, and it don't apply. None of it applies. So all, quite frankly, you can do is ultimately build yourself.
Yeah.
Build yourself, and don't chase anybody.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it was different then. But the end, like I said, birth control, sexual liberation, the lack of with the lack of a stigma, the internet, all that changed everything. So you can't operate according to the same rules. No fault divorces, all these things. Again, governments incentivizing bad behavior. So basically the balance is gone. So therefore the relationship is not usually at this point is not going to work because there's no balance. There's no balance in between the female male dynamic has always been a balance. That's your counterpart. And things were set up in a way in which you will work as a counterpart. You do this for me, like same thing. You take care of me, right? Okay, I'm gonna take care of you, and you're going to basically have my children and continue my legacy. Now women don't care. They don't care. They don't care about your legacy. They don't care about you. They care about what they can get out of the deal, and they're getting more out of the deal, particularly with marriage, than men are. So unless you find a traditional God-fearing woman, it's not even worth your time. And let me be clear. Traditional and God-fearing, not just so-called in the world, because again, I keep saying this, they don't even know what they're supposed to be doing. I'm talking about women in the word. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
Let me weigh in on this a little bit, Elijah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. But I'm sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah. Like I say, Elijah's right, but man, it's like this. It's this simple. I'm gonna tell you like this. You serve the true and living God, brother. Mm-hmm. Pray to the Most High God and say, Lord, it works. I would when I'm reading this, I'm in this word. I can't text. I use I said, Lord, I said I need a teacher. I said I can't get some of this. I can't get it, and I prayed. I mean, it didn't come right away, but it wasn't like I tell everybody. It was not him himself. Not saying you ugly guy, Elijah. It wasn't him. It was what he was saying. I was listening when he was reading. That word that got me. That word. You know what I'm saying? I heard him read that ugly. I'm looking and I'm following along. I'm saying, yeah, man, I'm reading. I'm like, yeah, I didn't. That makes sense, you know. So, man, pray. Lord, he was seeing you someone. You pray, be patient. And like I say, he was seeing you someone. Me and my wife, I mean, not to say about my hometown. I mean, I love my people here, you know, and the people I grew up with and stuff, but I knew I wasn't gonna make it with nobody in Ben Harbor. My wife is from Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? And she old school. My wife is old.
Down on the bus, man.
And but the thing about it, man, pray. You serve the true living God. Tell them, they right. Everything he said was right. You know, get yourself together. You have the opportunity. I think I had my first. See, I mean, back when I was little, I mean, feeling on booties, boy. That was man. That's like getting some back then. You're right. It was harder to actually do something back in my days, but boy, you feeling booty.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Stop the press.
I'm just telling about, you know.
Yeah, stop the press. Hey, but no, okay. But I did what you're saying. Let's go back to what you said about praying. I did suggest that last time we spoke about praying to the Lord about that. You know, in the Bible we talk about prudent wife is from the Lord. Like that is scratch the stuff about don't scratch the booty. Scratch the stuff he said about but what he said about praying to the Lord is legit. Like I've seen that in my own life. It's based on what we're talking about. So but yeah, but I'm just saying as far as what you need to be doing as far as, you know, what the situation actually is.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's definitely what I do. I pray that God put me in a position, you know, to be able to do that. If I do, you know, once I do decide to get with somebody, or I had a means to, you know, to put me with somebody who I'll be equally yoked with. But it's just, you know, something that I've been thinking about because you know, people been trying to play matchmaker and stuff, and different people have been asking me about, telling me about their daughters and stuff like that. They've been showing. I'm like, nah, this is a setup. This is a setup.
And if they don't know, the Lord, who they matching you with?
Yeah.
Yeah, come my daughter.
Some
She's been with
L's.
12 guys, but she all right.
Some L's, L City.
So she all right. She don't talk back too much.
It's a whole lot of dodging and weaving that you got to do.
Yeah, come over there eating a pork chop.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening.
Hey, but you know, another thing, I was having a conversation about the repression of women's sexuality and how historically that has been repressed in different religions and different societies, because if not, you got what you got today. You got what you got today. Like, you know, the Bible talk about, you know, your whole, you know, don't let Israel go to whoredom. And when it's not repressed, that's what you have. You have straight up whoredom today that is totally accepted by the larger society. So it's a quagmire. It's a quagmire that, you know, when it comes to that, that's the most important. Like I say, that's what the nation is built off of, that male-female dynamic. And that's one of the biggest problems we got going right now, is it's no balance. Even you know it's supposed to be balanced. Even looking at the mother and the father in the home, the mother and the father bring different things that bring forth balance. They bring in different things, but they bring in balance. When that relationship is destroyed, you lose the balance that's there. And so you as a man have to be very careful. Very careful.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough. Even with the headscarf and the long dress, he said being equally yoked is a distraction from what is our duty. That's what Brother Joseph said. Yeah, being unequally yoked, that's what you'll get marrying somebody that's not in the word.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it don't even be like the females that's not in the word. If somebody's dressing crazy, I don't even consider them. Like it's just a deception that if somebody like you was talking about earlier, that I think would definitely be something that I would have to take into consideration is the deception. So somebody who not really modest.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. But yeah, you could forget them days is gone, brother. What you talking about?
Oh yeah.
What you talking about? Them days are over with.
Yeah.
Those days, because they don't have an incentive to actually conform.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they're not your woman. They don't belong to you.
Right.
And then on top of that, what the irony is, what women in society are doing, because women are more unhappy than they ever been, on more antidepressants than they ever been.
Yeah.
Statistically.
Yeah, it's crazy.
On antidepressants and unhappy. Why? Because the society told you don't be a mother, be in a workplace, don't conform to what a man's program is, and you're doing just the opposite. But you were literally made for a man's program. That's what your purpose is. So how could you be fulfilled if you're not actually doing what you're supposed to be doing?
Right.
According to how you was fashioned and shaped. But with that, brothers, I know I said I ain't gonna be on long. It's already 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna let this brother Willie get some sleep. And you brothers, real quick, Mo and Brother Joseph, if y'all can stay on, or just stay on for 1 second. I'm gonna get off of YouTube. Yeah.
All right, family.
All right, peace to everybody.
All right, peace, fam.
Be safe.